God says I have a 30-inch bomb curly wig, raw Indian hair wig for you, full lace wig, fully plucked and bleached and all that kind of stuff.
See, I tried giving love in the past, but I guess he was saving best for last. Oh God, just show it off. Yes he is, yes he is, yes he is, yes he is. Oh God, just show it off.
Hey guys, it's Jericho. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to do kind of like a story time, or maybe like a lesson or something, like something that I've learned and something that I'm continuing to learn and something that I've been practicing, which is basically like hearing the voice of God, learning to listen to God, and you know, even when you feel like what you may want to do may be better, then of course, you know, I kind of losing my train of thought already. But basically learning how to listen to the voice of God and, you know, follow what you're being told and what you feel in your spirit. So I don't want to make this video way too long. I hope it's not going to be long, but when I start talking, you know, things just flip. So back in November, well, I quit my job at Lowe's in September. I started working at a new place. But so I quit my job at Lowe's in September, and I started a new job at this new place, which is a clothing store. So which was great. Everything was good. I got started there in September as a regular sales associate. So I'm just a regular sales associate, being a cashier, you know, being on the floor, and all that goodness, which I had never done before. So it was new for me. I've never done a sales position, and it's not even sales because we don't get commission or nothing. But when they say sales associate, it means you basically can do anything in the store. Like, you're gonna be either doing cashiering, or you're gonna be folding clothes, or restocking the shelves. Basically everybody is a sales associate. So there's no specific positions within the company except when you're like a supervisor or a manager or assistant manager, things like that. So I started in September. By November, I think it was like a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, they had pulled me inside and was asking me, they were like, you know, you've been doing so well here, like, we love you. You catch on quick, you pretty much do anything that you're told to do and you do it well. They were like, you know, what do you think about being supervisor? And at the time, you know, I'm like, oh, really? Me? Like little old me? I was really flattered, for one, because I'm like, first of all, I've only been here like 2 months and they're already considering me for a supervisor position, so I felt special. But at the same time, I was like, oh, and I had just had a conversation with my mom like 2 days before that, saying that I never wanted to be a supervisor because you literally are signing your life away when you do these jobs. Like, you literally have no more freedom. So I was like, you know, I don't, and not only that, I told her, I'm like, I don't want to do any supervisor positions anywhere because I don't want to have that headache. I don't want to have that weight on me when I get to work. I said, I just want to go to work, do my job, and go home. I do not want to have to go to work and hear complaints. I don't want to have to go to work and deal with, you know, listening to customers complain. And, you know, I just did not want that for my life. You know, sending people on breaks and lunches, dealing with people and their attitudes. I'm like, you know, I told my mom just like a few days before they asked me that. And when they asked me that, it kind of took me back. I'm like, you know, I'm like, God, is this something that you're trying to get me to do? I'm like, it's crazy how I just had this conversation with my mom saying that I would never do it and I never wanted to do it. And then now, a few days later, I'm being offered to apply for their position because they want me to have it. And I'm like, you know, like, God, like, what are you doing? Like, is this something I'm supposed to be doing? Like, please let me know. I'm like, I don't want to make any decisions without the Lord, you know, being a part of it, because I'll be 30 next year, and I've just realized that when you try and make decisions and do things without God, it may work out. Sometimes they do work out when you make decisions without God, but sometimes they don't. So it's like, I don't want nothing for me. I don't want anything that God doesn't have for me, because I could be wanting, let's just use a wig for example. I could be trying to get this 20-inch really bomb curly wig. So God is saying, I have that for you, but you trying to go for the little cheap 20-inch wig because you think that's what you want. But God is like, no, I have something way better if you would just listen. So I don't have much experience in this department. So when they told me about that, I really started considering it. I was telling my mom, I told everybody. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I applied for the position. And then I had prayed about it because I had mentioned in one of my other videos, when I pray now, I like to write my prayers down. Of course, I still pray verbally, but it's just something about writing it down that just really resonates with me. It really just really makes things, I don't know. It's just something about writing it down. Like you're quiet and you just really get to put all your thoughts down on paper. So I wrote down a prayer and I was like, you know, God, you know, thank you for this opportunity. But I need you to give me a sign if this is what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. Because y'all know, like YouTube and creating content and taking pictures and going to events and doing all that great stuff is what I want to do. Like that's what I want to do with my life. That's what I want to do full time. So that's what I want to do. Like that is my true passion. And I'm like, you know, God, let me know, like what is this I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to take this position? Is this position something I'm supposed to do now while I work on my dream? Or is this something that I'm not supposed to be doing and continue doing what I'm doing now? You know, just working and doing this, you know, because I have time. You know, I'm part-time, but when you become a supervisor, you're basically full-time and a half. So I'm like, you know, God, let me know. You know, let me know. And I went to church with my sister. My sister, their car and stuff broke down. It's just crazy how God works. Even though I hate that they're in this position, my sister and her husband's car broke down. They had 2 cars, now they're back down to 1, and her husband works on Sundays. So, you know, I volunteered to take them to church on Sundays, knowing that I really didn't want to do that every week because, you know, I live 40 minutes away from my sister, so I'm driving 40 minutes to her house, and then I'm driving 15 to church. So it's like, it's a lot on Sunday mornings. It's a lot. So, you know, but I volunteered something just, you know, when this happened with their vehicle, something, I just heard a voice saying, like, you know, offered to take them. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I wanted to do it because that's just me. It's my heart. Like, I love my sister. I love my niece and nephew. And I want them to go to church. So I'm like, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and take them, even though it's way out of my way. But, so I take them every Sunday. I've been going every Sunday. But that specific Sunday, after I prayed that prayer, you know, they had like this altar call, like this just random altar call. You know, sometimes when the spirit is just moving, like sometimes they'll just have a random altar call. And he had, you know, I just was sitting in my chair and I just heard this voice like, you know, you need to go up there. Just go up there to the altar. And I'm not going to say exactly what he told me, but this is how, like, I know God is real from the bottom of my heart, because when someone can speak a word or a prophesy a word over you, and their future, like they see what God has for you for your career. Like, this man doesn't know anything about me, you guys. So, like, nothing. He didn't even know my name. He didn't even know I was going to the church. He knew nothing about me, but he was up there praying over everybody for healing. We were specifically praying for healing. And in the middle of him praying for this healing, he had stopped and talked to me. He had asked me what it was that I do for my work. And I said, I'm in retail. And, you know, I'm being considered for a supervisor position. And he was like, you know, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Like, that's not your passion. He was like, that's not your passion, is it? I was like, no, that's not my passion. I said, this is just, you know, how I'm getting by. And he was like, I'm seeing beauty. I'm seeing you doing something with beauty. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to tell y'all everything he told me, but he told me that in front of the church. Like, everybody that was there was a witness to everything he told me. And when he said, I'm seeing your career in beauty, I told him about my YouTube channel and stuff. He was basically like, you know, this is in the line of what I'm seeing. So I'm like, okay. So like I said, I'm not going to go into complete detail what he told me, but just know what he told me on November 17th, 2019 has forever changed everything. But that date will forever remain a specific date in my life, because everything just changed that day. But you know, so the Lord answered my prayers so quick, because I think I prayed that on Friday and I went to church that Sunday and got that answer. But at the same time, at the time that I got that answer, I felt like it wasn't an answer. I'm like, well, is this God telling me that I shouldn't take this position, or what? Like, you know how you think you hear something, or you think you get confirmation, but you're still in your mind like fighting. Like, is this what it really is? Like, is this what I'm like, Lord? Like, am I just being stupid? Like, am I just being dumb? Like, are you telling me this? And I was just supposed to just be like, okay, I'm not going to take the position because he answered my prayer. But at the same time, I'm an overthinker. You know, I deal with anxiety a lot. So I'm like, you know, I got that confirmation. I see it now. But at the time, I'm like, was that my confirmation? So I'm steady praying for more signs and more signs. I'm like, Lord, like, should I apply for this position? Even though I applied for the position, but I'm like, Lord, should I take this position at this point? Because I did my interview and stuff, and they basically, I had the job. So, you know, like 2 months went by, because I applied for it in November, I think it was. No, they offered it to me to apply in November. I think I applied in December, had my interview early January. So it was a lengthy, like God gave this a long process, you guys. This was not something that was quick. He was like, you know, he made it a long process. So I'm like, okay. You know, I had my interview, and deep down in my soul this entire time, you guys, and I'm steady praying for more signs, deep down in my soul, I did not feel peace about it. I'm like, I'm steady asking for God to give me an answer, because I'm like, I need something clear, God. I need to hear you say no or yes. But sometimes you don't always get an answer like that. Sometimes you get a confirmation by how you're feeling about the situation. So this whole time I'm steady going after this position, steady doing the interviews, you know, steady talking to people about it. I'm still, in my heart, I'm feeling like I'm feeling so confused. I'm feeling so anxious. I'm feeling so like, what if, in my spirit. And I had talked to my mom about it, and she was like, you know, when God wants you to do something, when God has something for you, you feel peace about it. No matter how big this dream is, you feel peace about it. You won't be confused. You know what you're supposed to do. You do it. And I'm like, okay. Well, I definitely don't feel peace about this situation at all. So then, you know, I got home that night, and I was reading this book called, you know, by Priscilla, shirer, I'm not sure how to say it, but it's called Learning to Discern the Voice of God. Now, I hadn't read this book in years. I had just started back reading it before they even offered this position to me, and I hadn't read it in like a week or so. And when I opened up the book, the next chapter was, I think it was chapter 6. It was like, He brings peace. And I'm like, okay, if this isn't confirmation, I don't know what is, okay? Because my mom had this conversation with my mom, and that same night when I went to read, it was the chapter, name of the chapter was called He Brings Peace. And it talks about how when God wants you to do something, when you're trying to figure out what you should do, you have peace about it. Like, you just have this overwhelming sense of peace. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm starting to hear you now. Like, you already gave me the confirmation, but here I am, a human being, still confused, still conflicted, still trying to mold myself into this position because of the great increase in pay. Like, when I say this pay is great, y'all, like, great. So, you know, but I'm like, you know, everything isn't about money. It's like, what are you giving up and to receive this money? So everything ain't about money, you know. So I'm like, okay, Lord, I hear you. You know, because I don't have peace about this situation. And then I get to work, and I'm hearing all these different stories. Mind you, I'm already seeing what these supervisors go through that are already there. But it's still in my mind, I'm like making excuses like, oh, well, it won't be like that for me, or oh, it won't be so bad, or oh, I'll be able to handle it. Like, in my mind, I'm just having all these different thoughts, like trying to force this position to work out for me, when God had already told me that this is not what I want for you. Then I did my last interview with like the big boss lady, and she was telling me, like, you know, when you take this position, you basically belong to this company. Like, you got to be available at all times of the day. You gotta be, she said, if it snows outside, you still gotta come to work because you hold the keys to the store. And anybody that knows me know I do not go to work in the snow, okay? I'm not driving to work when it's snow and ice outside. I don't care if I got the keys to this store. This store ain't opening because I'm not losing my life over this job. I'm just not. So when she told me that, and told me how, you know, if you're in a relationship with somebody, or if you're married, it's kind of like difficult on your marriage because you're always gone, and you know, your schedule's different every day. I'm like, that was God's like blunt way of telling me, like, girl, if you take this position, you are literally signing your life away. You are selling your soul for money. So I'm like, you know what? Okay. So I'm like, you know what, Lord? I said, okay, God, I hear you. You've been trying to tell me. You told me right away when I prayed about it, but I still was going for this position. I still was trying to make excuses in my head. I still was trying to tell myself that this is what I should be doing with my life, or this is maybe what you want me to do with my life. And at the end of the day, He had already answered my prayer, but I'm still trying to fit and mold myself into this position, still trying to make excuses. And I, like, you know, at that point, I'm like, I let it go. I'm like, okay, God, I'm not gonna take this position. And when I went back to work the next day, and I said, when they were literally finna offer me the position, like, they told me the pay, which was amazing, by the way. Let's just put that out there. The moment I said no, when I say it felt like the world had been lifted off my shoulders, Like, it was like I could breathe. Because the past 2 months had been so much turmoil in my spirit about this position. And I'm like, if this was really something that I was supposed to be doing, I would not have gone through all of this turmoil. Like, I went through all this turmoil for no reason, when I could have turned it down like 2 months ago when I first got the confirmation. But I was still trying to fit and mold it into what I thought it should be, or what I thought, you know, it was going to be. So what I thought my interpretation of what that confirmation was. So when I turned it down, I immediately just felt good. I immediately felt peace. I was able to go to sleep without stressing about it. And I'm like, okay, you know, I just went through these 2 months, all this turmoil for no reason, because God was like, no, this is not what I have for you. This is not what I have for your marriage, first of all. And, you know, like, I'm not trying to put this job before my marriage, like, because that's what was going to happen, because I was going to have to be gone. And there would be no way for me to make plans with my husband. The schedule's being done at the last minute every week. And you having to work, like, you don't know what your schedule going to be, so you can't even schedule life plans. Not only that, your vacation days barely get approved because you're always at work. So it's like, I already see this. So I know this is not what I'm supposed to do, because I'm already seeing it. I felt like I needed to share this story, because I feel like we always pray for, you know, God, let me know what I should be doing, or let me know if I should do this or if I should not do this, and we get the answer, but we're still searching for the answer, even though in the back of our minds we feel like we've already gotten the answer, but we're still trying to, like, ask for clearer signs when he's already been clear. So I've never had this situation happen to me in my life before. So I'm like, you know, I have to share this, because there's probably someone out there who needs to make a major life decision, and they may, you know, need help, and they've prayed about, you know, what to do, and they don't know what to do. So I'm like, you know, I need to tell them, I need to tell this story. And it's been on my heart for weeks to share this story, or to record this video. So I'm glad I'm finally getting a chance to record it. So if you have prayed for something and you feel like you have gotten the confirmation, the first confirmation you got was your answer, okay? You don't have to keep searching. You don't have to keep praying about it and asking for clearer signs. Whatever you feel like in your heart is what he is telling you, then that's what it is. Don't do like I did and waste all this time being in turmoil for no reason, when I had already got the confirmation 2 days after I had asked for it. But I basically just went on and was trying to persuade myself to do this when I knew that's not what I was supposed to be doing. So what I'm doing now is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I also saw this quote. It was like, all it takes is 1 year to change your life. Like, you could be doing something for 10 years and seeing results, but it ain't like what you want. And all it takes is that 1 year, or that one whatever, and that's it. And, you know, I'm just gonna keep holding on to that. So I hope it was helpful. I hope that maybe someone who was confused about a decision that they need to make, maybe this video was your confirmation, you know, for you to make whatever feeling that you have, follow that feeling, because only you know. I can't tell you that. Only you know what that feeling is. So if you're feeling that, that is your answer. If you don't have peace about something that you're about to do, you're not supposed to be doing it, period. Okay? If it was meant for you to be doing what you're about to do, you would not be feeling the way that you're feeling. And I want to start doing more of these talkative videos, like, you know, as I feel like I'm being led to do so. This was, like I said, the first step in doing that. So yeah, so if you guys like this video, I hope you guys thumbs up and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I normally say Snapchat, but I don't really post on Snapchat like that. But go ahead and follow me anyway. My Instagram is Jerikasyncere. And my Snapchat is just Jerikasyncere, like it is on here on YouTube. All one word, Jerikasyncere. So if you're following me on Instagram, thank you. Let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know you're here from my YouTube channel so I can say hi. And that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good day.